Hi, Wade Galt with Insurance Agency Master here. Going to show you how you can reduce the cost of your employee turnover by 50% or more, which could save you anywhere from $50,000 to $1 million lifetime by accurately identifying the main causes and addressing them. So first, let's identify the costs. If an agent needs to hire a new person every 2 years, and they're going to be in business for 20 more years, that agent will need to hire 10 more people during the agent's career. And so they'll have to fill 10 more positions. And let's say it takes the agency owner 3 hires to find 1 keeper. So maybe with service people it's easier and they can only hire 1 or 2 people to find a keeper. But with sales people it might take 3 to 5 or 6 hires to find a good keeper. So the agency owner will need to hire 30 people, if again it's 3 on average, to fill those 10 spots. With those 30 people, we need to take time to decide if we're going to keep them or not. Now, most agents take about 6 months to make sure the person gets licensed, to make sure they get trained, see if they're working out, that sort of stuff. And at that pace, that would take 180 months or 15 years to decide on which people to keep. In essence, 15 years to fill those spots. During that time, we need to train these people. Let's say each employee cost you $40,000 per year. So that's the salary, taxes, overhead, just the cost to have them in a chair. So that's what that new person's costing you. Plus, let's say on average, your existing team members are taking 1/4 of their total time to train that new person. So it's costing you $10,000 more because your key team member is training that person. And so your training costs are $50,000 per year. Well, that, if you multiply those numbers, would equal $750,000 of training costs on future hires. And then a piece that agents forget about often is there's going to be lost sales while that team member is being trained. So let's say while that key team member is training the new employee, 10 sales a month are being lost. And let's say that each of those sales are worth $250 each between first year and renewals. I have no idea what yours are worth, but again, using some round numbers here. So the agency loses $30,000 per year based on sales lost while we're training that new person. So if you multiply those numbers, that's $450,000 of lost sales by current team members while they're busy training the new hires. So if you take the $750,000 of training costs, the $450,000 of lost sales, that's $1.2 million based on lost sales and downtime to hire these new 10 people. So let's take these numbers and look at them in a little more depth and how it might be impacting your agency. So again, we've got 10 positions. It takes us 3 hires to find 1 keeper, and we can train 2 people per year. The training is going to cost the agency $50,000 per year, and there'll be $30,000 of lost sales opportunities. And so if you multiply this out, those 30 positions are going to take us 15 years. It's going to cost us $80,000 per year. And again, we've got that lifetime cost of $1.2 million. So let's see how we can reduce that cost. If we can figure out how to keep good team members longer, maybe we can reduce that from 10 total hires that we're going to need to fill to 8. And so just by doing a better job of compensating our team members, training them better, treating them better, maybe we can reduce that cost. And so that takes us from $1.2 million down to $960,000. Solution 2, if we can hire better, what if we can just do a little bit better with our hiring by creating huge opportunities with lower base salaries, by screening out people before we bring them on? We do a better job with that, and let's say we can get to 2.5 hires to find a keeper. That can reduce the cost to $800,000. Solution 3, this is huge. What if we can train and then of course fire quicker? If we can create some standards for the milestones team members need to achieve when they come on and really create more like a 2-month or a 3-month at tops plan where we decide if we're going to keep them or not, and we can train them quicker, we can get it to where now instead of us taking 6 months to train a new team member, we could get to 3 months, and that means now we can reach 4 people in a year rather than 2. That cuts our training costs from $800,000 to $400,000. And then solution 4, this is kind of the stealth one that most agents don't see. You don't use your current team members to train. You delegate that. And there's 3 ways you can delegate that. Number 1, you can still have that new team member watch one of your current performers. And so if your producers are performing and the new team member is watching that, it's not costing you training time. Second, of course, you can leverage the online training and the training you have from your agency management office. And then finally, you can look to use outside sales coaches if the content they provide can help replace content or training your team members would do. Now, this is where a lot of agents are so used to saying, well, Wade, you know what, I don't like to pay $1,000 or $2,000 for sales coaching. I mean, the sales coaching stuff is so expensive. But when you look at it, not only is it costing you $10,000 in this example to have your current team member training the person, that's just $10,000 of cost in salary and expenses for them to be in their chair. But letter E is the bigger piece. It's currently costing this example $30,000 of lost sales, whereas if you don't have your current team members training, now it's not costing you anything. So now you reduce your training cost from $80,000 to $40,000, including the training costs and lost opportunities, and now your lifetime cost is $200,000. So with option 1, the current scenario, we've got $1.2 million of costs, and option 2, we've gotten that down to $200,000 just by making a few changes. So this is just a simple example of how we understand how we can make an impact in your agency and help you implement these solutions. Now that we've looked at expense management more, in the next video we're going to look at how you can create a better lifestyle and work less by looking at our 28-hour agency foundation. This is how you create your multi-line agency so you can be that agency owner and enjoy that lifestyle rather than being a glorified employee. So go ahead and check that out in the next video and we'll show you how you can do that.